Hello guys, in this next video we're going to be going over greatest common factor and how we factor that out of an expression like we have here. So greatest common factor in this unit of factoring is kind of everything. If you don't understand greatest common factor, it's going to be pretty tough to do future problems, but then we're also going to have problems just like this where you're not having to do additional factoring. All it's saying is for this problem, all I'm asking you to do, I know there's no writing, is just take out the greatest common factor from this expression. So how would we do that? And with units in the past, I would say go piece by piece. And I say we do that same thing here. So we just kind of go piece by piece. So what do I mean by that? We start with the numbers. Numbers 4 and the numbers 12. Negative 12, 12. And we're thinking to ourselves, what's the greatest common factor of 4 and 12? What number goes into both 4 and 12? And you should say, oh, the number 4. That's 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12. So that's the greatest common factor for those two numbers. Now you move on to each letter. So now we have x squared and x cubed. What's the greatest common factor of x squared and x cubed? And the trick for this, if you're trying to find the greatest common factor of two variables, is the greatest common factor is always going to be the variable that has the lowest degree. So here we have x to the power 2 and x to the power 3. X to the power 2 is the lower degree, so the greatest common factor is going to be x squared. And now we move on to the y's. We have y to the power 4, y to the power 3. We're using that same thought process as before. We know that y cubed is our greatest common factor. And so that's our GCF. This right here is the GCF. But in this problem, I'm asking you to factor out the GCF. So what does that mean? It means you have your GCF here, and now, in parentheses, we're going to put what's left over in this expression when you take out the GCF. So off to the side, you're kind of just dividing. So you're dividing this by the GCF and this by the GCF. So 4x squared, y4 over 4x squared, y cubed. This just equals 1. This just equals y. So you're just left with y when you do that. So on the inside of parentheses, we're just left with y. And then next we have minus. And then let's see, 12 x cubed, y cubed over 4 x squared, y cubed. This just equals 12 by 4 is 3 x. That's it. So minus 3x. We close the parentheses. That's it. That's our final answer. We factored out the greatest common factor.